Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I've
Welcome to episode 16 of the Gilded City 2, The Lost Kingdom. We are recording at a time that is not usual for us to be recording, so
it's light out.
It's light out, which is crazy. We are approaching the end of this first story arc in Ravenloft. So you are excited to see how this story arc concludes, go ahead and leave us a like, leave us a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you are following the podcast, do that. Follow the podcast. Leave us a review, leave us a rating, all that good stuff. Am I forgetting anything else? Follow us on social media at Rollers Guild DND at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Matt, do you have something to share with the class?
No, I remember that my mom had asked me a question about the game, and I was like, oh yeah, what was that? And I remembered it was, okay, what happened to Ben's chin?
Well, we didn't get 10 likes on the last episode.
I told her.
On that episode, so okay, great. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on in to this week's episode. Content warning. Ravenloft as a setting can feature disturbing themes and ideas, and while it is never going to be our intention to upset anyone, it is worth noting. Be advised that this story arc features ghosts, dysfunctional families, cruel clergy, murder, and references to suicide. Last time, the party, having retrieved the information they need from the Ainsleys, traveled into the Stray Stands forest to find Brother Francis. Brother Francis, afraid, paranoid, and guilt-ridden, eventually relented to the party's request for information on how to break the wards trapping Bryant in the Ainsley Village manor. Departing from there, the party were then confronted by the ghost of Brooke, who demanded to know what their intentions were. After convincing her of their honest intentions to help Bryant, she asked them to bring Bryant to the place where they had planned to get married at midnight tomorrow so that they can get married now in the afterlife. They enthusiastically agreed and hurried to free Bryant. With the information in hand from Brother Francis, Elina was able to break the wards on the Ainsley Village manor. The party briefly checked in to make sure Dr. Van Richten was recovering from his experience, and then took Bryant out for a bachelor party. They woke up the next morning confused, some with more money, some with less money, someone with a new enemy, and also Elina with a stranger asleep in her lap. And so this is where we join the party the next morning in Van Richten's place. Elina, the person in your lap, sort of sits up and stretches. This is, a young man. He looks a little scrappy looking. Looks like he probably got into a fight due to his busted lip. Handsome enough, I guess. And he says, Right, well, it was lovely, really quite lovely making all of your acquaintances. Thank you for letting me spend time with you all and my new beloved here last night. I'll see you again later, my dear. And he kisses you on the cheek and leaves. As he's walking...
Do any of you have any idea who that was?
Anybody who would like to may make a history check to see if you can figure out this man's name.
We have to try.
Nat 1.
11. Nat 1. Perfect.
7.
7. Wow. Anybody else trying, or are we tapped out?
What type of roll is it?
History.
Okay. That jumped out. Nat 1.
Hungover.
The dice say nobody knows who this guy is.
What'd you get, Jinarra?
3.
3. Great. No one knows who this man is.
Do I remember what the first letter is? Because I rolled the highest.
Because you got an 11?
Yeah.
Sure. His first name started with a G.
I think Greg, Gus.
Yes, of course. That was it.
Yeah.
What, you all don't remember?
Gamma?
This is
No,
very
no.
important to
Right.
Elina.
George. Grape.
Grape sounds like it. That sounds like it's definitely that.
We'll go with that one.
That sounds
He,
right.
he looks like a grape.
Yeah. That sounds familiar now that you're saying it.
Wheat is a grape, like a bunch of grapes.
Okay.
So
Anyway.
how long have you guys been an item?
I don't remember.
Mm.
Oh,
Interesting.
Beautiful.
take it from me. You have done nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. If anything, you've done yourself and Grapes an incredible favor.
Grape seems like a great guy.
Okay.
Fantastic fellow.
At this, Dr. Van Richten enters the living room area where you are all just crashed upon like various pieces of furniture with a sort of tray of mugs, puts it on the table in the center of the room and says, I thought you all might be a little out of sorts this morning, so I prepared some coffee for you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
Mr. Bowmin, do you have any
Very
bourbon
welcome.
I can add to this?
Bryant, the ghost of Bryant, floats up through the floor. He had woken you up yesterday. Not yesterday, this morning. He floats up through the floor and he's like, hey, so you all got a little fucked up last night. It's been a long time.
It was great.
You didn't?
I'm
I
a
don't
ghost.
think he can.
Did you have fun?
Of course I had fun. I haven't been out on the town since I was alive.
We got insight check.
Sure, make an insight check.
What?
Insight if he had fun or if he hasn't been out on the town.
If he had fun.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I thought you were
okay.
inciting if he'd been
It's
out
like,
on the
let's-
town.
he's been
14.
stuck in the house.
14. You think
Yeah.
you think he had fun?
All right. We are best
Um,
friends, so I'll let it go.
Dr. Van Richten, you're now getting a good look at him. He's sort of, recomposed himself after what happened to him. So, he's got sort of a chin strap beard that's a little bit more well groomed now. He's got a, receding hairline, but he still has quite a bit of hair left. It's a very light brown that is going gray, his hair and his beard. And he has a pair of circular glasses perched on his long, straight nose. And, he says, Well, I must extend my thanks to you all once again for everything you have done for me. I assume there was a reason for it.
Oh,
No.
yeah, we did have a reason.
I know.
We still
Elina.
do.
I know Elina, of course. But I don't know the rest of you all, so I assume you came here looking for me for some reason.
Yeah, I think we were pointed in your direction.
Mm-hmm.
Where to
We need to navigate.
begin? We're looking for two things. First, there's a relative of mine that came through, was actually at the Ainsley Manor for a bit.
Mm.
And people are saying we look alike. I don't believe it, but and then we're also looking for a lost city named Oikos.
I need two things to happen right now. First, Elina, I need a wisdom saving throw from you.
A wisdom
I was
save?
curious.
Ooh, okay.
Imagine she goes the rest of this campaign never remembering the name or anything we're trying to do.
That's a 23.
23. The name, you retain the name after Artemis says it.
Cool.
You have gotten to a sufficient point with him where you're able to retain that information. Van Richten blinks and then he says, "So do you know the name of this lost?"
I do. See, there's a bit of a hiccup with it. Oh, you look like you're confused as well. So there's a curse on it, my family. I'm not quite sure. Some sort of curse. People can't remember the name. Because guess what? I just told you. And then it's poof.
And
just like a bachelor party.
Yes.
No, I can't remember it. Interesting.
But I do.
So, yeah, because the rest of us also remember everything that Artemis has told us about this place. So I think you have to spend, too much time with Artemis, and then you can remember.
Like a curse.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you know how you sometimes get more susceptible to sicknesses when you are exposed to them, or it's probably something more like that.
Oh, yeah.
How about I bless you with my gifts the more you are around me?
Or
Spin
that.
that narrative around.
That's another way to look at it.
That's the correct way to look at it. Thank
So
you.
basically, In Tandem has reached herd immunity with Oikos, is what we're saying.
I'm just gonna go and pat Artemis on the back.
Okay. Van Richten sort of nods and says, "I have never heard of such a curse before, but I will do some research today. You all have business to conclude with your ghostly friend here, Bryant. He and I were talking a little bit before you woke up. My understanding is you have a wedding to attend tonight at midnight?"
Yes.
Oh, I forgot it was at midnight.
Speaking of which, did you manage to figure out how to make something ghosty?
Actually, that is something that I was talking to Bryant about this morning. I was not able to make the ring more ghosty, but I was able to help Bryant stay in phase longer in order to more easily manipulate the item. And Bryant proudly holds up the ring.
How do we get it on Brooke's finger?
Way to go.
Well, she could wear it the same way that Bryant is able to manipulate it.
Okay.
The power of love.
Sure. Very well. I will look into some information about this potential curse. Now, in your other points, you said you had a relative that came through here. I am sorry to tell you, but I was out of town until recently, and then indisposed in the village manor where you all found me. So I do not think I would have seen your relative when he came through here.
Right.
But if I could get his name, perhaps I could ask some of my contacts if they know anything.
Sure. Dagrin. Brightshield.
Right, Dagrin Brightshield. And I heard your name was Artemis. I apologize, I don't know the rest of your names.
Nyx.
Honey.
Bowmin.
Jinarra. And can I also do, I was the only one in the room when his ghost son was with him, and I haven't passed that information on to anyone else. Can I do an insight check on him to just get a vibe check? I'm not sure if I really
Make an
trust
insight
him.
check.
26.
26. This is a man, he seems very trustworthy insofar as that's concerned, right? It seems like he is being honest with you when he's saying he wants to help. He's being honest with you about everything he's been saying just now. He does seem to be holding himself at an emotional distance. You noticed that when he referred to Elina had previously referred to him as her friend. You notice that he has not referred to her as a friend. This, with a 26 insight, that's really good. It strikes you because you have been in a similar place before, that Dr. Van Richten has been through some trauma that has damaged his ability to... He's intentionally trying not to be close.
Okay.
With a 26, I would say that's what you get. You don't know the full circumstances behind that. But that's sort of the read you get on him based on like his posture, the sort of tone of voice he's taking, which is like very professional, very straightforward. Sort of even after serving you all coffee and thanking you, he sort of stood at a little bit of a separation from the rest of the group. And you can sort of see in the lines on his face, this is a man that has been through a lot.
Understood.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. We came through like a month-ish ago. May have, maybe alone, maybe not.
If he was not alone, do you know who he may have been with?
No.
Very well. I will see what I can determine while you all are busy today.
Would it be helpful to have like the area of where the city is supposed to be?
Oh, that's very good information. Thank you, coworker.
Well, now here is going to be my next question for you. You do not seem of Ravenloft.
No, we're from the material.
Yeah, we're from the real world.
Well, real is a we don't have, it's a relative thing.
So the city's supposed to be there too.
I see. But your journey searching for it has led you here to Ravenloft.
We have a
It's
theory.
yeah. All right. In a nutshell, it is like a city-state and ancestral home seat for my family, and then it disappeared. Never knew why. My parents were very secret about it for generations, and then start looking into it. There was this entity, Silver Flame. It's somehow wrapped up in it, and then now we're trying to. Well, I'm trying to find it, but mostly, my brother may have done something very bad, and I'm just trying to talk to him about it.
Well, if the city was dragged into Ravenloft, this cursed city, whose name is unknowable, under most circumstances anyway, I do not know that its original location would help me much in my research on this curse, but I appreciate the thought, Penny. It would be helpful in other circumstances, perhaps. But I do not think it is helpful in this specific circumstance. I will do some research and see if I have come across any information about such a curse in my travels, and if not, I will think about who might be able to get you that information. I have an extensive list of contacts throughout Ravenloft. If I don't have the answer, I almost certainly know someone who can get you the answer.
All right. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So a wedding, I guess.
Yes. I will leave you all to it. I am still not feeling 100%. It'll probably take me a few more days of rest and recovery before I am up to traipsing around Mordant. So I will leave this in your very capable hands and do some research. Come back here when you have concluded matters and are ready to talk more. And he nods and then retreats into his study.
We have to find Brooke's family because we're going to give them 200 gold.
Bryant just chimes in and says, right. I was thinking about that actually. You said that Brooke was going to go see her family. I would assume she wants to bring them to the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh,
An escort.
So,
She's an escort people.
perhaps
I've been an
It
escort
would-
before. It's not as glamorous.
Artie, that's not. Okay. Just, okay, go. Bryant, go.
Perhaps it would be convenient to conclude any business you have with them then.
all
You
right.
know,
Works,
we'll
that's
all be in the same
wicked
place at the same time.
Do we have any fear that someone is going to try to interrupt the wedding and exercise Bryant and Brooke?
I was thinking about that too.
And I'm thinking about it because I feel like maybe because this is going to be a longer session, something is planned that is going to require contact. So I'm thinking we need to be prepared.
I don't think so. I mean, the only person who knows is still stuck in a cabin, right?
I do
Or the
want to
eighth
go
place?
see
Yeah,
this
but they're not going to show that.
place,
Ryder?
Bryant, that you guys had already talked about getting married, because, well, if Brooke's family's there and we're there, and I don't know how long these things take, but we could set up like a little seating area, some decorations.
Ooh, should we get a cake?
Cake would be great.
Yes, well, because of the secretive nature of our relationship, there was this very quaint chapel that had fallen out of use, outside of town. And we were planning on getting married there because it was, no one used it. So we could, have the ceremony secretly.
Is that still what you want?
Well, yes, and I mean,
that's where Brooke's gonna be.
that's where Brooke is going to be.
Right. We've already set. The save the date's already gone out.
So, but that all being said, given that it is in some, disuse, it probably could use a little TLC before the ceremony. If we want to depart, early and head there.
Yeah, does everyone have anything else they want to do in town before we go?
Not until Van Richten's better.
Are there any Elina, you might know, is there anything we can do to protect the space for Bryant and Brooke, just in case someone tries to crash and get rid of them?
Would there be something in that book that I got from Francis?
Make a let's call it an investigation check for trying to search through the pages of this book to find something useful.
4.
4.
Luck? Do we think this is worth a luck?
No.
We might be in a battle
No?
later.
Okay, we'll save the luck.
What could possibly? We're awesome. We'll be fine.
I know we were drinking last night, but did we take the equivalent of a long rest?
Yeah. Yes. You
Okay.
can click long rest if you haven't already.
But I'm gonna get rid of my temporary hit points.
Well, and
You know
on the
Jinarra
way
will
then,
honor
we
that.
can talk about wedding plans, and I'll do Inspiring Leader again and give you all
Yeah.
another 13.
It's either a
temporary.
point of exhaustion or temporary hit points. Which you
Yeah.
Right.
Great. Yeah, you all Elina, you sort of try to remember from this book if there was anything particularly helpful in there. You were so focused on you go back to the book to try to look through it again. You're still feeling a little hungover. And so reading is just not clicking with you right now. The main thing you were focusing on the day before was information about the ritual that Brother Francis had used to trap Bryant. And that you don't think would be particularly helpful for these purposes, right? Because it's more about keeping something in than keeping something in rather than keeping something out. So unfortunately, you were unable to figure out if there's any useful information in Brother Francis's tome. But if you all are all set, you're welcome to. It sounded like there were some wedding supplies you all wanted to purchase before heading out there.
I want to go straight there because you got to see what you're working with.
I want to go straight there too to check for traps and all the.
I'll
pick
just
up
get
all
some
those
gossamer draperies and flowers. And
I was gonna say, why don't we split up and someone get decorations and supplies, and other group of us goes and fix things up.
I'll get cake.
Okay, so it sounds like Penny and Artemis are on decoration retrieval. Is there
This'll go
anybody
well.
else going with the two of them, or is it just the two of them?
I'm mending things. So
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
going.
Bowmin's Bowman's gonna fix up the
No,
chapel.
no.
Great. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes,
Someone's gonna die.
Elina, Bowmin, Jinarra, and Nyx are going straight to the chapel. And Bryant says, right, I will escort you all there so you can find it, and then I'll come back to town and retrieve your two friends here when they're and guide them.
Are there any allergy restrictions we should know about ahead of time? Also, what's Brooke's favorite color?
I'm dead.
No, the family that's gonna be there. Bryant, think about your guests.
Your in-laws.
I am not aware of any allergy.
Great, we'll find out. We'll
Issues.
find out, and it'll be okay.
Just get a gluten-free vegan cake.
No
They
one
have
wants
those
them.
here, right?
No one wants
I
them.
had one of those last night, and it was
Yeah,
incredible.
they're pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if those exist.
We'll get
in
both. We'll get
medieval
both.
times.
We'll get both. We have the money. We'll get
Um,
both.
Yeah, we'll find it.
As far as Brooke's favorite color,
And favorite flower.
right?
And song.
Oh, God. Okay. Right.
It's a
feel
lot
like
of
you should
planning. We're
find
cramming
Brooke.
into like 1 second for you, so
Why
Yes.
don't you
You know,
find
I'll
out
just-
Brooke and
I've got a
ask her
song.
these
I've got a
questions?
song. It'll be
Brooke's
fine.
favorite color was yellow. Her favorite flower is the daffodil. Yes, yellow daffodil, they go together nicely. Yes.
I needed to check to see if he looked up yellow flowers, but he didn't.
No. And as far as favorite song goes, you know,
I've got it. Don't worry.
okay,
You don't have to worry about it.
great. Well,
Wow, yellow wedding.
thank
So
you all.
sorry if anyone's yellow was someone's color. I'm just on Google.
Well, anyway, those of you who are departing immediately for the chapel, shall we?
Yeah.
Great. You all leave. I will give Artemis and Penny a minute to coordinate with each other about what their shopping trip is going to look like. But the rest of you are led by Bryant outside of town. It's probably about like I'd say about an hour and a half like hike out of town, like up the main road, and then sort of off the main road down a little dirt path, sort of barely into the tree line, is this old, abandoned chapel. It looks like it used to be quite pretty, stone walls, cobblestone walls, with a slate roof, which now has several holes in it. It's a long, narrow building with sort of a small like side compartment, I guess, off of it. There are, as you sort of are doing a loop around the building, there's like a hole in the right wall and a hole in the left wall, but the main like double doors that open into the chapel are still intact, and ajar. So you're able to easily like enter inside. You see that there's quite a bit of debris in here. Some like wooden beams from the ceiling have fallen down, but the stone like tile floor, there's like a lot of like moss and other plants that have like grown up through the cracks. The sort of the altar at the end of this chapel, which is stone, is still intact, and it does have sort of a moldering cloth draped over it. Got several holes in it, but still there. As well as you see, there are like the end of this building behind the altar is sort of rounded, and you see that there are some cracked but still intact stained glass windows in this sort of transept area. And these stained glass windows seem to depict the goddess Ezra. You do also see the holes that I talked about before on the interior of this church, as well as an ajar door, but that opens into the sort of side off of the main building, which appears to be just a small office space of some kind for probably the priest that used to work here. So it's in pretty bad shape, all things considered. But structurally sound. It doesn't seem like it's, despite the fact that it's kind of a wreck in here, it doesn't seem like the building is in immediate peril of collapse.
Well, it looks like we have a lot of work to do to make it look nicer.
Bryant says, yes, it's deteriorated a bit in the last few years, but it was not in significantly better condition when we originally planned to wed here. It was less about the space in particular and more about the fact that this would be a place where we believe we would be able to get married without interference.
Well, what time is it now?
Now, I mean, it's, about an hour and a half to get here. You drank a lot last night, so you probably slept in a little bit. It's a little afternoon now, so you've got a little less than 12 hours.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything we need to do for the ceremony specifically? I don't know what type of religious things you need. Do you need like an archway? Do you need to break a glass?
Bryant turns to Elina and says, how the priest we had asked before was Brother Francis, and he turned out to be a traitor. I was never a particularly religious person, so I will defer to your friend Elina here. As far as the ceremony goes, what do you think we need?
I think we'll just keep it simple, and as long as we have both you and Brooke, I don't, and myself, of course, I don't see any other requirements for the ceremony itself.
All right.
All right, we're keeping it simple. Let's go.
Great. Well, I will go fetch your friends. And he disappears and departs to go get Artemis and Penny. But before we cut to them, what are all of you doing to try to straighten up this space and make it ready for the wedding?
I think Bowmin specifically is trying to fix probably the pews.
Yeah.
So people have places to sit.
Yeah. There are a few pews in the back that seem like they were still in pretty good shape. So you're able to just move a couple of those farther forward and move some of the smaller debris. Some of these beams are quite large and heavy and would be a challenge even for you, though you're welcome to do what you can with them. But that's what Bowman's doing. What's everybody else doing?
I think Elina will be checking just to see if there's any like spirits around that need to be guided
Yep.
out.
Yeah, go ahead and we'll call this a either make a perception or a religion check, your choice.
Okay. We'll do perception 16.
Perception 16. You do look around and sort of out of the corner of your eye in the dark, like office space, you do see there's a spirit in there, like hunched over the desk. Doesn't seem to have noticed you, but is there. Seems, based on the way the spirit looks like a priest. Do you want to try interacting with this spirit, or are you going to try to leave him be?
I'm just gonna. Is there like a door to this room?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like quietly close the door.
Yeah.
And try not to like disturb the spirit, and then let the others that are there know, hey, maybe just avoid that room.
Sure. You know what though? While you're doing that, just
bless you.
Bless you. Just to see how stealthily you're able to do that, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand or stealth check. I'll allow either or.
Oh, well, they're the same. 13.
13. All right, let me roll. Okay. You managed to close the door very quietly. Don't seem to catch this spirit's attention. And yeah, he doesn't seem bothered by your presence either way at this moment. So
cool.
Great. Nyx and Jinarra, how about the two of you?
I want to try to mend the stained glass and clean the cloth on the altar so that I can then fix the holes. And then, but I don't, how high up is the stained glass?
Oh, I mean, you're way too short to get the upper sections.
Does anybody have a flying spell? Or a ladder?
Or boots?
Bird?
Or boot? Wait, do I have boots? No, I have boots of jumping and striding. I could maybe jump up there. Does anybody have flying boots?
Bowmin can fly with his wings. I think, was it Wings of the Night? Whatever.
Yeah, it's a cloak.
Cloak.
Item.
Wings
I
of
think
flying.
It's called Wings of Flying, yeah.
If you want to lift.
Sure.
Great. Yeah. Bowmin, you can Nyx is light enough, right, that you can use your Wings of Flying to carry her up and let her use mending on all that. This whole process is going to take quite some time because mending is a minor spell. It's a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's going to take a lot of casts of mending to fix up all the cracks and mend the holes. I will say, yeah, Bowmin, I will say, it does take you the full hour that the Wings of Flying are able to be active for, before Nyx is done mending the upper sections of the stained glass windows. So what I need from you is I do need you to roll a 1d12 for me to see how long it's going to take before you can fly again. Just because this doesn't typically come up, you know, you don't use it, you don't have any need to use it within a relatively short period of time, but just for the sake of it, let's see.
It was a 10.
A 10. Okay, and I would say about this time, we'll call it, well, I'll say this is like after a lot of the early work that you guys are doing with moving stuff around, and that probably takes a couple hours, so I'll say it's probably around like 3 right now.
Okay.
So you've got 10 hours before you can use your wings of flying again. Just so you know.
Also, Bowmin, like once we finish that, Bowmin, do you think that you could move at least like 2 of the beams to make like a triangle arbor for them to stand in front of or float in front of?
You know what? I love that idea. So can I do that, or do you want
Make
me
an
to do any
athletics
strength?
check.
All right. Nat 20.
Nice. Easy enough. Hayes is helping you. Or trying to help you.
He has it in his mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Doing his best to help you. You are able to drag a couple of beams over and create a little arbor triangle.
And then I also want to take another, like a broken piece of the beam. And once I'm done, like fixing other things and sweeping stuff, probably I'm going to sit in a corner and start carving with my wood carver's tools. A little like B&B like thing to put somewhere.
Yeah, go ahead and make a wood carver's tools check for me.
That's an 11.
An 11?
Mm-hmm.
You're adding proficiency, and what else are you adding?
Dexterity.
Okay. You know, it's not, you're not trying to make a super complicated thing, right? It's perfectly nice. It's not anything fancy, right? It's not perfect, but it's pretty nice, and it's a very thoughtful sentiment. And you think it will be appreciated, even though you know there's a bunch of imperfections in it.
Abstract.
What is Jinarra doing during all of this?
Okay. Jinarra is fully aware that we still have this headless horseman out there, and we're going to be doing this wedding at midnight. And just in general, we're concerned about someone trying to come and like exercise, the bride and groom during the wedding.
Sure.
So I'm scoping out the entrances and exits. I'm like looking to see if there's any tracks around to try to figure out if anyone's been around here lately.
Yep. Yep.
And go ahead.
No, you go.
And after that, I'm going to take by the entrances and exits. I want to take like bigger branches. I don't want them to be a tripping hazard, but I want to try to make it look nice, but just sort of like lay them nicely outside the entrance and exit, so if someone steps on them, like I'll be able to like hear it, but I don't want people to be falling over them.
Sure. Okay. First, then I would love for you to make we'll call it a perception check to try to like really scope out the space and look around and see where and look for tracks, and that sort of thing.
I got a 16.
16. It doesn't look like anyone's been here recently.
Okay.
As far as that is concerned. You do know, you check for, you know of basically 3 ways in right now, right? There's the main wooden double doors.
Yep.
And then there are holes in the 2 side walls. Other than that, you don't find any other way in or out unless somebody were to like break in through the windows, right? Which would be pretty obvious in and of itself. I would say the stick thing you can do without any sort of check. So you're able to gather up some sticks and branches and stuff. I mean, this, you're sort of you're not in the middle of the woods, right? But there are plenty of trees in the immediate vicinity. So you're able to gather up plenty of like dead branches and just leave them outside all of the ways in and out of the building. So that you'd have at least some early warning before someone came in.
Okay. And after I've done that, because that probably won't take me all 12 hours, I'll just help with general cleaning and moving things, whatever we have left to do to make the place look decent.
Yeah. Great. Easy enough to do. Okay, let's check in with Artemis and Penny.
Oh boy.
So, how's shopping going? What are y'all looking for? What are y'all buying?
We need
Only the essentials.
Yes. We need a long thing of yellow fabric to decorate where they're going to be standing. We need a shit ton of daffodils. We need a bouquet. We need a cake. We need alcohol. Maybe food. No one's gonna want to eat at midnight. We have the cake. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else?
Let's rent like 2 horses and buggies to take all the shit there.
Yes.
Probably we'll keep one of them to drive people back.
Right.
Or 2. Set up a coach service.
Mm-hmm.
We
can offer the tiny hut for Brooke's family afterwards if they want to sleep.
Well, one of us will have to be in there with them.
Oh, so yeah. Well, we can have Elina do that. I'm sure she'll do that.
Yeah.
She has her own, so I'm sure she'll say yes. She's a woman of God. She can't say no.
Right. What else? I'm trying to remember all the...
We need to get cake first because there's going to be like, they have to make it.
Ooh, very good. To the bakery.
We need to do that first.
Follow our noses.
The bakery. Great. Okay. So you guys go to the bakery. Unless you really want to role play out this conversation, we don't have to.
You want to get the... Wait, I don't know how it's pronounced.
Croquembouche?
Yeah, the croquet and bouche.
What?
We do need a 3-tiered cake and a croquembouche.
Yes.
What?
Croquembouche.
The baker looks
the Tower of Pastries.
Oh.
It's a traditional dim and lou wedding cake.
It's a dim and lou wedding cake.
So it's 100 cream puffs, like cone-shaped confection that's covered in caramelized sugar and then wrapped in like a veil of spun sugar.
And a dim and lou onion on top.
The baker is like, all right. So now
we need it now.
You need a 3-tiered cake. You need a croquembouche. Croquembouche.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. When do you need it by?
It takes about an hour or so to get to the place.
Yeah, so we'll probably need it by 10.
10 tonight.
10 p.m.
By 10 p.m. tonight.
Yeah, that's like
we can hire additional help for you.
We could.
Have you ever heard the expression "too many cooks in the kitchen"?
No, I literally.
If you want to do it all yourself, then by all means.
That's not what I mean. Never mind. There's only so helpful more staff are before you just getting in each other's way.
Oh, so you don't need any more help. That's great.
Okay. This is a lot to get done.
Fair.
In 10 hours.
Well, we only came for the best.
Mm-hmm. We've heard amazing things.
Make a persuasion check for me, Artemis. With advantage, because Penny is helpful.
Woof. Okay. Persuasion. What is my thing? 13. 28.
Right. Let's call it 10 gold. And I'll do what I can. Artemis, you pay him. You would know 10 gold, like, it's a lot of money for what he's making, but he's also making it.
It's a rush order.
It's a rush order.
That's perfect. Fine.
Great.
I'll tip him 5 gold on top of that.
Jesus
okay.
Christ.
I've got a lot of money.
What else are y'all buying?
Right, so those are the cakes. Flowers. That's another big, and the fabric.
Flowers and fabric, yeah.
Flowers and fabric. To the greenhouse. How big is this place?
You know what's really funny is that Dr. Van Richten does own an herbalist shop.
Incredible.
To
He-
Dr. Van Richten.
So he is easily able to hook you up either with what he has or through people he knows with the flowers that you need.
Nice. Because we need
Um,
shits in the flowers.
yeah. For a very small wedding. Um,
Well, we have to put them along the arch. They need to go in the cake on top of the croquembouche, the bouquet for Brooke on the seats, the flower
Who's
petals
gonna
for
be
the
the flower
aisle.
girl?
For the flower girl. Who is the flower? We don't even have. Now we need a child. We need to
Now
find
we
a
need
child.
to find a
Who's the
child.
flower girl?
I'm child size.
Next
That's
is-
true.
And then we need
All right.
fabric.
fabric.
All right, fabric.
I will say just to get all the flowers, throw another 5 gold on there, even so.
I got that.
Right. And then you need the fabric. You need a lot of yellow fabric. You know what's funny is that
And
D&D
some like
doesn't
pale
have
blue accent as well, and some
Yes.
sage.
Okay.
What is that? The mesh tool. that we
Yeah,
can layer over the yellow.
so much.
Like a blue, dusty blue tool over the yellow.
Uh-huh.
Do they have tool here in Ravenloft?
We're about to invent it.
You can go to sort of a tailor's shop, right? And just start asking for all this cloth. Just basically you're asking for raw cloth, more or less.
Yeah, just rolls and rolls. Rest.
The person running the place is a little confused as well, that's not a usual order. However, I suppose we can help. I'll say
Oh, and
with
some nice scissors. Could we just buy some of your scissors?
Fabric scissors.
Yes.
how okay.
In maybe
Well-
yarn or ribbon to like,
Oh, ribbon. Excellent. Let's get some bouquet together.
we need ribbon.
Right. Very well. When do you need all this by?
Like now would be
Yeah.
excellent.
I see. Okay.
But if you need an hour, we could spare like an hour.
We're gonna be back in town at like 10 p.m. as well.
Yeah, we have a lot to pick up at 10. We're gonna do a whole thing.
No, we can get that for you quickly. We're gonna make a perception check. 15 gold.
My passive insight is 16, by the way.
Sure. Again, this is overpriced. But you're
But it is a
asking
wedding.
for
We're paying the wedding tax.
It's important.
Well-
Yes. 16, you said?
yes.
Sure. As long as it happens, 16 it is.
They are able to get that stuff for you fairly quickly, and you are exit the shop with like these rolls of cloth. Bryant sort of shows up at this point. He sees like the cart that you rented as well.
Loading
Go
up.
ahead and throw another. That's actually a good question.
Like renting them for the day. 2 days.
Day.
2 days
yeah.
rental for carts.
Yeah.
What else do we need?
Alcohol?
Oh, yes.
Are we having
Champagne.
a party afterwards?
There's gotta be a toast to the happy couple.
Oh. Champagne. All right, to the brewery? Pub?
We'll say it's gonna be 45 to
Okay.
rent a horse and cart
For 2 days.
for 2 days.
Okay.
So make note of that. And then you're also buying booze
To the alcohol. Yes.
to the alcohol. Very good.
But we didn't drink last night.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You walk in to this bar, and the bartender looks up and is like, No, you get out of here right now.
What do you mean?
After the shit you pulled last night,
I'm sorry. My brother is around here. You may be mistaking me for him.
I've never stepped foot in this place before.
No, don't you say that. You started a fight last night, and you smashed that table. And he points to a pile of wreckage in the corner of the room.
Ooh, which of us started a fight and which of us smashed the table?
The redhead.
I have never gotten into a public physical altercation before.
Well, you did last night.
Can you describe it for me? And
Are you sure that you're not just confusing me with another redheaded woman because all us redheaded women look at the same?
No, I very specifically remember you were in here, and there was this person from the Inquisition. They were in here minding their own business, enjoying a nice little drink, and you sort of bumped into them. Right? And then you were way too drunk, got offended, thought they bumped into you on purpose. And then you said, do you know who I am? I'm Penny fucking Presswell. Get out of my goddamn way. And then a fight started.
Well, that's not even my name, so...
Really?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Octavia Beret.
Make a deception check for me.
14.
God damn
it. I have heard of that Penny Presswell before, though, and she is very beautiful and very courageous, but yeah, she's definitely violent.
Also can be just a total piece of shit sometimes. Like, you think you're friends with her, and then she's like, no.
So you're not the folks that were in here last night?
I have to tell you, I have no idea. I do know, however, I have a shit ton of gold in my pocket and a very large order I need to place. Are you my man?
Well, why didn't you say so? What can I get for you?
How much alcohol do you have?
Well, this is a bar, so we've got quite a lot.
I'm glad this is where I ended up then. I would like enough champagne, wine, ale, bourbon for an open bar at a large wedding.
Party! Penny's gonna scream as before Artie says wedding.
A wedding party. Rehearsal dinner for
not a wedding.
A play.
It's not a wedding, it's a party. We are not supplying alcohol for a wedding.
Sorry, yeah, I got confused. It's a bit of a role-playing thing.
We have a wedding the next day that we also need an order for, but that's not this order. This is for the party.
It's a bridal shower.
When you say large, how many people are in attendance?
6,000.
10?
You're right. I might be a little excited, carried away.
I don't know how many are in the in-laws party, but I can't imagine
at least
more than
250.
6.
250 to be safe.
Right. So I'm hearing two very different numbers here. I'm hearing like 10, and I'm hearing 250. Now, the amount of alcohol you need for an open bar for 10 people is very different from an open bar you need for 250 people.
Well, you see, we didn't RSVP, so we're looking at a number between 10 and 250.
Maybe we'll drop it down to 100 or 150. 125. 125.
Cool.
Right. Okay.
I can just throw out a number and you can tell me if that's a good number for you.
Well, no, hold on. I just have to figure this out. Right. So let's say on average, if you're talking 125 people, probably need 25 bottles for just a moderate amount. If you've got a lot of heavy drinkers, you want to probably scale up to 35, 40 bottles.
That sounds better. Let's do 30.
30 bottles. Okay, great. 30 bottles. Now, you said you want wine, ale, and bourbon. How much of each? Like, how are we dividing this 30?
Like, not as much on the ale side.
More on the wine, champagne.
Sure. Okay. So, altogether then, 30 bottles is going to run you 300 gold pieces.
Sure.
Oh.
And then the other bottles and such.
What do you mean the other bottles and such?
Oh, sorry. Was that the sum?
That was the sum. That's the total. For 30 bottles.
How much business did we give you last night?
You said you weren't the people who were here last night. If you are the people who were here last night, I'm going to have to charge you 400.
Can I gift of gab for Art?
Does the spell say you are allowed to do that?
I don't think so.
Read me the text of the spell.
I don't think it does. I think it's only me. Hold on, let's see. When you cast a spell, you skillfully reshape the memories of listeners in your immediate area so that each creature of your choice within 5 feet of you forgets everything you said within the last 6 seconds.
That's a shame.
I think Artie does need that spell.
I will, because this is a low stakes situation, what I would love from you is a Arcana check to see if you can bend the arcane threads of this spell to act in a slightly different way than normal.
19.
I will say that is good enough that you are able
Presswell.
to erase Artemis's statement here. So, 30 bottles, that's what you're going with?
Yes.
Okay, 300 gold then.
Sure. How does 250 sound to you?
It sounds like you want 25 bottles.
No, I would love... It's such a bulk order. You're not going to be making this much again for quite a while. You and I mean, I'm a man who understands the supply and demand, of alcohol, and you look like you know it maybe more than me. You're going to be making this. You're going to be going home and sitting on nice new fluffy pillows after this. I say 250. Come on.
Make a persuasion check for me.
27.
275.
That's a beautiful number. 275.
Right.
Do you mind loading them up in the card out there? Thank you.
Yep, we'll get that loaded up.
Right, what else do we need?
Bryant, as you exit the bar, Bryant is like outside. He's like there's another group of ghosts like sort of floats down the street, sort of nods at Bryant. He nods back. He's like, wow, ghosts are just sort of out and about here, huh?
Oh.
I mean, I know I knew that when I was alive. It's just weird experiencing it from this side.
So that's normal. We have a normal amount of ghosts in the area, you're saying?
I think so.
Okay, good. So there's not like an uptick in ghosts in particular today.
No, I don't. Not as far as I know.
Right.
Just anyway. I was watching part of that negotiation there. I thought for sure he was going to lose his shit at you. Talk his way out of that.
Did that? Was what he was saying true?
Yes.
Huh.
I broke a table?
Well, technically, the other person broke the table when you shoved her into it.
Ah, you assaulted a table via another person.
Well, it sounds like that's a whole lot not my problem. It sounds like someone bumped into me, I tried defending myself, and then they broke the table with their back.
It's almost like it's happening again in front of me.
They were, if I remember correctly, they were an Olmist Inquisitor. they're a little overzealous. So, I don't think I honestly think you were probably doing everybody in the bar a favor, all things considered. Makes you feel better.
That's nice.
So we have everything we need, or can we think of anything else? We have fabric and flowers. We're going to pick up the cake. We have a bunch of alcohol, and we have carriages and horses to bring people back.
We need plates and seating at dinner.
Will the bakery
And centerpieces.
Will the bakery supply?
I don't know how many people you think are going to be at this secret ghost wedding.
Are you not inviting
How many people are in Brooke's family?
I feel like she's probably just bringing her parents.
Well, that would have been really fucking useful information.
Only her
I
parents?
tried to tell you that earlier, but you... Where did you get the what? Sorry, I do have to interject. Where'd you get 250 from? What do you think we're gonna do with
every single
30
wedding I've
bottles?
been to has been at least 500 people.
30 bottles of alcohol. Brooke and I can't drink.
Well, but to be
man.
fair, though, the alcohol won't go bad, and we can put it in Bowmin's hole, and it will last forever.
Yeah.
So,
plus, he's always wanting to have things that explode. We could just set it on fire sometime, and he's got an exploding thing.
when you say Bowmin's hole, what?
Oh my god, also, if there's another wedding, we can have the alcohol for that.
That's true.
We're set for 2 weddings, basically.
We basically never have to purchase anything at a bar ever again. We just bring
we start
Bowmin.
a wedding planning company?
Depending how well this one goes.
That's true. We gotta see what happens.
I would is there a place where we could go to get little table knickknacks? Is there an old woman who kind of practices magic on the side of town, who kind of sells some things?
Are you asking if there's a village witch?
Is there?
I don't think so.
Why not? Is this not?
Feels like a very witchy place. There should be.
Well, witches aren't the thing here. Ghosts are the thing here.
All right.
Witches are not in season. That was last season.
That's the next town over.
All right.
Should we go? So
Yeah,
we
we
can
should
start
probably.
setting stuff up.
Let's go, yes. He escorts you to the same abandoned chapel. You see everybody's already there is hard at work, getting everything fixed up, ready to go. You can bring in the flowers and the fabric and start getting the arbor all set up, and you've got the cake and stuff. There's not really a table in here, but you can set it on one of the pews or something. Or the altar, I guess, technically, though that might...
Maybe there's a really big piece of the wall that's fallen down, and we can just put it on there.
Yeah, you can
throw some fabric around
get
it, make
some
it cute.
beams set up. Yeah, sure. Set the food on there. And then, eventually you'll have to go back into town to collect the food, I guess I should say. As they unload the cart and pull out 30 bottles of booze, how does everybody react to this?
How many seats do we need?
I thought it was just a small ceremony.
Yeah, Bryant told us that there's only going to be 2 people, real humans here.
Yeah,
more
that's
than us.
what
Well, plus all of you.
Yeah. Well, Bowmin will drink 10 bottles. And then that
Only
means
10.
there'll be 20 for the rest of us.
Yeah, we haven't done anything wrong. Let's be clear.
And it doesn't expire.
How are you gonna carry all these things around?
We're not.
Yeah, it's going in your portable hole.
There's a certain limit that it can hold at one point, and
Alright, well, get
I
rid of
barely
the
have
other
any of
used
my
shit.
stuff in there anymore.
I feel like I haven't put anything in the hole.
I will say, at least one of you also has a bag of holding.
Yeah. Me.
Oh, well then we'll put it in Jinarra's fanny pack.
Fine.
All right, we can figure this out. We can figure this out. How much money did you spend though?
Honestly, we got a really good discount. I don't think we broke over 100. The entire
I'm
day.
gonna insight check that.
Penny's
Yeah,
going to get really
Insight
close to
opposed to
Jinarra.
Artemis's deception.
My insight was a 17.
29.
Artemis
Either
got a really
way-
good deal. He got everything for less than 100.
Either
Great.
way, Penny's gonna whisper to Jinarra and be like, "He spent 275 gold on the alcohol." Me, I only spent like 10 gold.
All things considered, I will say, Artemis, you did get, all things considered, you did get a pretty good deal on the booze. Everything else you got overcharged for, but on the booze you got a pretty good deal on.
Yeah,
You just
I had to make up for everything else.
bought a lot of it.
That's
I'm gonna
because we
give-
didn't say wedding.
I'm gonna give 100 gold to each of them.
I will take that. Even though
What's
I
this
don't
for?
need it, I will take that.
It's payment for dealing with it.
Eventually,
Penny's gonna start
Yes.
or putting up the little yellow drapes over the arch that Bowmin made
great.
and the flowers.
Yeah, you guys spend the next several hours like getting everything set up and beautified and stuff. And then somebody has to go back into town to collect the cake.
Plural.
But
Cakes.
And
Cakes.
croquembouche.
yes, the
Plural.
cake and the
Croquet and
croquembouche.
bouche.
Croquembouche.
So sorry. And then you bring it back, get everything set up as the sun sets, evening comes on, and the time of the wedding fast approaches.
Did we bring our outfits with us? I'm assuming we probably had the foresight to do that.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Also,
Yes.
as much as I'd love to watch the wedding, I feel like someone should stand guard outside.
Oh, I was planning on doing that. I actually
Just
already put not traps, but just so that we wouldn't get surprised in case anyone.
But someone's gonna be out
crashed.
there.
Yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm wearing my nice outfit, but I'm like armed to the teeth.
Okay.
Under it just in case.
Also, Hayes will be on patrol.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then I'm
Yeah.
staying inside and watching the wedding.
Also
Cypress.
gonna set an alarm on the perimeter.
Okay. So, it's now evening time. It's just a little bit before the wedding. Who is outside? Jinarra and Nyx?
Yes, I want to watch the wedding, but I am gonna set.
Oh, you're
gonna
setting
cast an
alarm.
alarm, yeah.
Jinarra is planning on being outside.
Yep.
Okay.
And Hayes is
Yeah, you have to
also
be the-
outside.
So Hayes and Cypress are flying around outside, or Cypress is flying around outside. Hayes is. So would
Hayes
you
is also flying.
would you say that Cypress and Hayes are a little farther out, or are they in the immediate vicinity?
Hayes is specifically patrolling probably about 30 feet from the perimeter of the building.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
Cypress can go a little more distance.
Okay.
Could we possibly say I cast Find Familiar before I went to sleep last night? So like my little dog was like flying around the bar with us.
Sure. Why not?
That's probably like a party trick you pulled out
Yeah.
while we were drunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, your familiars here. So I guess then what I need, as it's approaching the time for the wedding, I need perception checks from everybody and everything that's outside right now.
Oh,
So Cypress, Hayes, Jinarra, and your familiar. as well.
My
Jinarra.
familiar is going to be inside, so I can periodically glance
watch.
through my familiar's eyes and
I
see the
see.
wedding,
I
and
see.
then just continue patrolling. So my
Perfect.
familiar is not really helping me, other than so I can see them
Yeah.
do their vows.
Perfect.
If all is good.
15 for Cypress.
15 for Cypress.
Hayes got a 22.
Wow.
Oh wait, no. 21.
21.
Luckily, I have plus 11, and I got a 13.
Ooh, 13. Wow.
13
okay.
total. Because
I hate when you
I rolled a
roll
2.
underneath your passive.
I know.
I know.
It just
Yeah.
hurts so much.
Yep.
Okay. So, Cypress. Well, Hayes, I would say, is the first to sort of on the wind smell that people are approaching. And Jinarra and Cypress, the two of you notice that coming up the lane is are two humans, later middle-aged, probably, both dressed in pretty simple, nice but simple clothes. The man is bald on top of his head. He still has some hair around the sides and back, but he's completely bald at the top of his head, and he has a full beard. Light brown hair, and then the woman has blonde hair, and they are approaching with the ghost of Brooke. You said Hayes got a 21, Bowmin.
I missed it. It's a 19. I was looking
it's
at
a
different set.
19. Okay. Great. So yeah, Hayes is the first one to notice their approach. And you, as they approach Jinarra, Brooke sort of floats forward and says, hello there. These are my parents, Roger and Mary. Mom, Dad, this is one of the people I was telling you about who are helping.
It's wonderful to meet you. I'm Jinarra. The rest of my friends are inside, as well as Bryant. I'm gonna stay out here to stand guard, but if you need anything, my familiar Little Flower is in there, and he can come get me if something happens.
Mary sort of gives you a little hug, and Roger wrings your hand and says, we can't thank you enough for bringing our daughter back to us. I mean, when her ghost didn't appear, it's bad enough when a loved one dies, but when you can't even talk to their spirit, I mean, well, thank you. We appreciate it.
It was our pleasure.
You're able to open the doors and let them inside. Where's everybody sort of arranged?
Quick question for you, Ben. What time is it, would you say, right now?
It is probably 11:45-ish.
Okay. Never mind. I was gonna cast ceremony spell, but that takes about an hour.
Well, you could have started it earlier if you wanted ceremony to take effect now, but also it could be part of the wedding ceremony, right? As you start casting it to aid Elina.
Yeah. All right. And follow-up question: would this be wedding or funeral rites?
Oh my god.
Woof.
I'll leave that up to the paladin and the cleric to decide.
These are wedding rites.
All right. Again, follow-up question. It specifically says touch. These are spectral ghosts.
Yeah.
And it just gives them a +2 bonus to their AC.
Yeah.
Could I say that Bowmin using lay on hands could use some divine energy to
if they want to be touched, ghosts can be touched if they choose to allow that. If they are not currently ethereal.
Okay.
So.
All right, then that's what I'll say. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. So you'll be kind of up front then with Elina, who's going to be performing the ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Roger and Mary are going to stand on the side with their daughter. Where's everybody else?
I'm gonna, I guess I'm gonna be the flower girl because I have signed myself up for that. So I will, at the beginning, I'll walk down the aisle, throw the petals, and then I'll be up at the front.
Okay.
Next to Bryant.
Okay. Great.
Is Elina's friend here? Has anyone from the town come? Or we didn't tell people, did we?
No.
Secret
Van Richten's not coming.
Yeah, Van Richten's not coming.
That's not coming.
I thought you were referring to Grape.
Oh, great.
I was.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
I have no idea where that person goes.
We didn't invite Grape.
Maybe we did, and I just don't remember it.
What if he does show up?
Artemis is the band, so
okay,
up front but off to the side.
Yep, great. And Penny?
Is Brooke walking down the aisle with her parents?
Yeah.
Okay.
And with Nyx following behind as a flower girl.
Right. Okay.
Wait, the flower girl throws the petals for the bride to step on.
Yeah, so she's first. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Nyx is first. Yes. I'll stand up where Nyx is going to end up next to Bryant, so it'll be 2 and 2 on both. Well, 3 and 3 on both sides.
Great.
We didn't hire any catering staff.
We are the catering staff.
Cake and alcohol. That's good enough.
And croquembouche.
Yes.
As sort of Brooke's parents walk her up the aisle, they're both crying a little bit.
I start performing by the Righteous Brothers, Unchained Melody.
Okay. Great.
That is the song that plays in the scene in Ghost.
My God.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the walking down the aisle song?
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Great. So I haven't actually seen that movie, but I have seen the episode of Community where the pottery teacher is like, "No one will be ghosting in my class."
Oh, you should watch it though.
But anyway,
Goldberg.
I've seen The Pacifier, which references the movie Ghost, but I've never seen the movie Ghost.
Good movie.
Anyway.
Do Brooke's parents look impressed?
They do. They look very impressed and touched at all the effort that this group of strangers have put in trying to, bring closure for their dead daughter and her, boyfriend, basically. Artemis, you sing this very nice song, and as Brooke reaches the front, Brooke and Bryant sort of look at each other and, tears in their spectral eyes as they look into each other's eyes, and Artemis finishes the song. And Bowmin, you get from Hayes that someone is approaching.
Fucking knew it. Better be Grape.
Jinarra, you eventually hear growls coming from Hayes, and you hear somebody saying, "Stop, I'm not here to cause a problem. and sort of stumbling out of the underbrush is Katrina Ainsley.
Oh shit!
She's got her hands raised. She's like,
"What have we done?
Why is this dog harassing me?"
Because he was told to protect, and you've made it clear that you're not someone we can trust.
For the record, you're the ones who assaulted my family at our house.
I think what you did to your brother makes it clear that you're maybe not the most.
For the record, I didn't do anything. That's not
What
why
are you
I'm
doing here?
That's not why I'm here. Look,
Okay.
your friend Artemis said some things about the need to not hold grudges and anger towards your family. So I'm here to make amends. I wasn't sure where to find you, but luckily I knew who his beloved's family were.
Can I do an insight check?
Make an insight check.
17.
She is here begrudgingly but sincerely.
What time is it? Is it midnight yet? Do I know if the ceremony has started?
It is the ceremony. You would know the ceremony has started.
I'm not going to let you go in just yet because I don't know. I don't know if I even want to give away that they're getting married right now. If you're being truthful, you can wait out here with me. And in a bit, we can go and find your brother. But for right now, you're not going inside.
Inside. By the way, Bowmin, you clock most of this through your connection with Hayes. What do you have Hayes do at this point? I would say Cypress also is aware of what's going on. So same question for you, Artemis.
I think Hayes is just going to stand guard and just keep an eye on Katrina.
Great.
Very aggressively, like actively growling.
Yep. And Cypress?
He's got just continue patrolling, but I will message Nyx and say, looks like Katrina's arrived. She's with Jinarra. Fascinating.
Has the ceremony started?
At this point, the music comes to an end.
Okay.
Bride and groom are at the front, and Elina is about to start the ceremony. So you may make your statement, and then Elina, you are on deck for how you are running this ceremony. So just be aware of that. But Nyx, what were you gonna say?
I just gonna think and be like, we can keep her out there until the wedding's done. Then they can have their little reunion later.
Great. Real quick before I turn things over to you, and by the way, Elina, you don't have to give us a blow by blow of how it goes if you don't feel comfortable doing that. You can just give us a general
Wow.
overview. But Artemis, I do need you to make another perception check for Cypress now that he is back on patrol.
Ugh. 11.
I know Hayes is like watching her, so I'm keeping half an eye on her, but I'm also continuing my patrol.
Make a perception check then. 11 for Cypress. Okay.
Yeah.
24.
24. Wow. Okay. Great. Elina.
Okay. Okay. Welcome, everyone. We're here today to join these two spirits in matrimony, Brooke and Bryant. You've come here to solidify your partnership. Have you both come here freely and without reservation?
They both say, no, I do.
Okay. Well, by the power vested in me through our goddess Ezra, I pronounce you husband and wife.
They do a ghost kiss. Mr. and Mrs. Baker, Brooke's parents, burst into tears. They are crying. There's like noise and celebration. Katrina looks at the door, looks back at you. Sounds like we're missing all the fun.
Oh, you mean the fun that your brother and his whore are having?
Okay, look,
Oh shit.
Oh, that was caught me off guard.
You always hope that someone, the moment you get married, somewhere nearby is like, ah, yes, that bar.
I am realizing you are using my family's own words against us, and that is a fair blow.
You really could have made this go a completely different way. But that's on you.
Okay, once again, I will reiterate. I didn't do anything. Also, let's set everything aside for a minute. This happened 5 years ago. Do you know how old I was 5 years ago?
I'm also pretty sure you had this conversation with Artemis, what, a day or two ago?
Yes, that's
about
why
your
I'm
thoughts
here.
Towards Brooke. It doesn't really seem like you've done a ton of growing in 48 hours.
I know, you know what? Yes, but I'm making an effort. Your friend convinced me to make an effort.
He does do that.
Inside the ceremony, you know, the actual like wedding vows have been said. Cake and booze is like brought up to the altar. You all are able to do and croquembouche. You all are able to do a quick toast.
While we're toasting and like people are congratulating, I'm just gonna like tap Bryant and like whisper to him, apparently your sister's outside. I just wanted to give you that information. You can go see her if you want.
What is
or you can just ignore it.
What is she doing here?
You know, I don't really know. Ask Artemis.
All right. He gets pulled aside for a conversation with like Roger, who's, you know, doing the whole, now you take care of my daughter, which is funny because you're both dead. But
oh, it's a ghost wedding. Okay.
They were dead the whole time?
They were dead the whole time.
Aw.
But
I do want
yeah.
to check outside, see how that's going with my own eyeballs.
Yeah. You're able to sort of, crack open the door a little bit where Hayes and Jinarra are holding Katrina. And she sees you. She's like, will you tell your friends that you convinced me that I should try to do this?
I did. There's one more step, though. You look very well. The road suits you. We just need to make sure that you're, wanted. Otherwise, So, it's good to see you.
Don't give me that. It is nice to see you as well.
Thank you. Very touching. Jinarra, are you good?
Yeah.
All right. Beautiful ceremony, by the way.
I'm glad.
Yeah, you're able to pop back inside Artemis. And around this time, Bryant has extricated himself from his in-laws and comes over to you, Artemis, and says, I was told to come find you because my sister's here.
Yes. In our recent journeys, when we went to your parents' estate, I may have convinced or dropped the idea of making amends, saying I'm sorry, an honest conversation. If you're up for that, the opportunity's now. And if not, I mean, you probably know where to find your folks later if you just don't want to deal with that today. It's up to you.
What would you do?
Ooh. I've been told I don't make very good choices.
Well,
but
I would still value your opinion.
As your best man, I will give you the advice of, oh boy. I'm searching for someone who is potentially the cause of all the pain that I've ever felt. But I would still love to hear an apology from them. No matter how much I dislike or hate them. But like, you're married now, so you can't make decisions alone. So, old ball and chain, gotta go talk to the chain.
That's a very outdated notion of marriage.
You're right.
I'm
drunk. Would you like wine? We have a lot.
I can't, and I can't believe I'm having to tell you this again. I cannot drink. I will go talk to Brooke.
Great. I will tell the rest of our team.
Great. Brooke and Bryant go have a conversation sort of off to the side. Jinarra, you said you had a 24 in your earlier perception check. You, at this point, hear the sound of several people coming down the lane towards the church.
Great.
Maybe this church is booked for another wedding. How embarrassing would that be?
Well, we've already decorated it exquisitely.
What do you do?
I'm going to tell Katrina to hide I'm going to signal Hayes to stay here, and I'm going to run inside and pull whoever's closest.
Where do you want me to hide? Why do you want me to hide? What?
I don't know. And I'm gonna go.
Actually, who cares what happens to you?
My friends.
This is life on the road.
Fantastic security.
I think since Jinarra told Hayes to stay put, Bowmin knows something's going on, and Bowmin's gonna start walking out.
Okay.
As Jinarra, you go inside. Bowmin, you come and you like meet Jinarra like halfway down the church to confer. I'm gonna roll.
Can I just quickly tell Bowmin there's people coming and like book it back outside?
Yeah. So let's do this next.
Oh, I guess I probably could have used my familiar to like get inside.
Here's what I need. Jinarra, I need you to. We're gonna make this an initiative roll. This is just to see what order things happen in.
Great. I got an 8.
Got an 8. Okay. Okay. Then let me roll for. And then. Sorry, or check. Okay. You run inside. You find Bowmin like comes forward to meet you. You're like, there's people coming. Right as you say that, Bowmin, you hear Hayes yelp. You see through Hayes' eyes that there are a group of 6 people approaching. The elder Ainsleys and 4 others. Hayes sees that Katrina had tried to quickly hide behind like a nearby overturned cart, but didn't do a very good job of it. And you see that Lady Ainsley grabs her by her hair and drags her with her. Hayes starts like barking at them. And one of the people in the group is going to draw a sword and attack Hayes.
The dog.
That is a 17 to hit.
People.
Ooh. Can Hayes have advantage against that because he's a good boy? No, just kidding. That's a hit.
I'll allow it.
The second good that did it.
It was the second good. It was absolutely the second good. Hayes takes 11 points of damage.
Oof.
I'm
what
does Hayes do? Is Hayes still alive, I guess?
Hayes is still alive.
Okay.
Boy.
What does Hayes do? There are 6 of them. And they are now pushing past Hayes to the door. So you get 1 turn for Hayes before they enter the church.
Hayes is just going to bite.
Make an attack roll.
Specifically the one that hit him.
Make an attack roll.
To 22.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Seven piercing damage. And it needs I need a strength saving throw. DC 11.
Yep. That was a nat 1.
So they are knocked prone on the ground.
Okay.
Good boy.
Mhm.
I think at this point, Bowmin has seen all this happen and he's bursting out the doors.
So at around this time, as you're running for the door, this is when everybody else except the one person that Hayes is dealing with, everybody else comes in through the church, bursts in through the church doors.
With Katrina getting dragged by her hair?
Yep.
Okay.
Lady
Nyx is sitting there going like this because her alarm has gone off because somebody's entered the
yeah. Lady Ainsley says, I knew my daughter wasn't completely useless. And she throws Katrina to the ground. And Katrina looks up and she just shakes her head like she doesn't know what's happening. And her eyes are tearing up. Penny, you look over at one of these like other people, the one in the lead, and you have this flash of memory.
Oh no.
Of bumping into this person last night at the bar.
Round 2.
And shoving them into a table. And they see you and they're like, I didn't think we would resolve our conflict so soon.
I literally don't know or care who you are.
That's okay. By the power invested in me by the Olmist Inquisition, for the greater good.
Can I draw my gun while he's talking?
You can draw it.
Shoot out his teeth.
Can I shoot him while he's talking?